Welcome to this PPP loan forgiveness full-time equivalent employee calculation video. My name is Matt Holquist with the Holquist Firm and the Quickbooks University. And so I wanted to put together this template that goes in conjunction with the other templates that I've put together. So if you're not aware, the PPP loan forgiveness, there's really going to be two parts, at least with what we know at this point in time. There's going to be two things that the banks are going to be looking at. One is, did you spend the money on payroll, at least 75% on payroll and 25% on the rent, utilities, mortgage interest, etc. And then the other part is going to be your head count. So did you maintain or increase your head count over this 8-week period when you have to spend this money? Okay, so this template is a calculation to see if you pass this second head count test, so to speak. Okay, so first things first, I've got a download link down in the description and in a comment, and I do have this password protected. Okay, so if you do need the password, you can email me directly for the password. My email address, again, is down in the description of the video and down in the first comment there that I will pin to the top of the comments. Okay, so let's walk through this. All right, so first of all, this rule, and this gets a little bit kind of funky here, but I did put the general rule right up here in the beginning. Okay, so basically you have to look at 3 time periods when you're calculating your full-time equivalent employees. All right, the first one is the 8-week time period in which you must spend the money, the PPP loan proceeds. This is called your covered period. The second one is from February 15th, 2019 through June 30th, 2019. And the last one is January 1st, 2020 through February 29th, 2020. All right, so what you're going to do is essentially, once you calculate this, you're going to divide the covered period, so the FTEs in number 1, by the lesser of those 2 time periods, the time period in 2019 or the time period in 2020, the FTEs in those time period. So you're going to choose the lesser of the 2, divide it into the covered period, and if it's more than 1, then you pass this test. If it's less than 1, all right, that means your head count has gone down, then you do not pass the test. That does not mean that you don't have any of the loan forgiven. It just means that they will reduce the amount to be forgiven. All right. Now, our understanding at this point is it's going to be a pro rata reduction. But again, this is a preliminary calculation. The final rules are not out yet, but this will at least get you a head start on being able to track this during your 8-week time period. Okay. So let me just go through this spreadsheet briefly so that hopefully I can answer any questions. Again, you're only going to put data into the yellow cells here. And this is a basic one. This is just a summary sheet that has the calculation. All right, so first of all, the covered period. Let me go to the covered period here. We've got a couple things here. If you hover over the triangle, you'll see that we've got notes in here. Okay, so this describes what you're looking at. So first of all, this top one here where it has these 10s. So you're going to look in, you're going to have to figure out week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. for this 8-week time period from the time you got the money. All right, so you're going to have to look at those time periods, and you can get the payroll reports, from your payroll company, or if you use QuickBooks, pull it out of there. But we've got 2 things we're looking at here. First, this is going to be the total number of employees that worked more than 30 hours per week. All right, so this is the number of employees right here. Okay, so you're just going to input those numbers in all those weeks. All right, and this will average the FTEs out here. And then here, this number here, you're going to go down to this table and you're going to have employee 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And you're going to say employees working less than 30 hours per week. And down in this table, you're going to put in the number of hours. Okay, so in week 1, if employee 1 worked 24 hours, 24 is in there. Week 2, 29 hours, week 3, 13, etc. So you're going to put in these hours, and this will calculate the FTEs up here for employees that work less than 30 hours a week. And then it's going to take these numbers and put them on the summary sheet. Okay, so let me go to the other one. So the FTEs for 2019 and for 2020, It's basically the same calculation, just different time period. Again, you're going to look at this time period per week, and you're going to say how many employees worked more than 30 hours per week. Okay, so if it's 10, you're going to put that in, 12, etc. Worked less than 30 hours per week. Okay, this gets a little bit funky here because the first part of the time period is 2 weeks. So you're going to say, and I've got this in the description here, for the month, you're going to say, did an employee work less than 120 hours? That's 30 hours per week. And you're going to put in the number of hours, okay? So the first thing you look at, you say, this employee worked less than 120 hours in March, and then you're going to put in the total number of hours they worked. Now, for this 2-week time period, it's going to be 60 hours. All right, so just half of 120. If they worked less than 60 hours during that 2-week time period, put in the number of hours here for that employee. And you're going to do this for each month in 2019, and this will calculate up here to give you your average FTEs. All right, then you do that again for 2020, and this will automatically calculate on the first tab in the summary for how many FTEs you have during the time periods and the covered period, and let you know if you met the test. Okay? Now, any questions whatsoever? This test is a pretty complicated test, all right? The money spent test was a little bit simpler than this, and that one was complicated. Now, this one is even more complicated, all right? So if you have any questions, any comments whatsoever, feel free to leave them below, and I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. And also send me an email for the password. I'm happy to give that to you. I just do not want to publish that here on YouTube. Okay? Again, any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks so much.